Hello, everybody. I'm here to talk about a couple of things. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the well wishers for my mom. She's going to be buried either Tuesday or Wednesday at Nassau Knolls in New York. I'd just like to say thank you very much. When we originally talked, I mentioned that the fact that she was sick and she was holding on, but today she finally passed. And it's the best thing. We all get there in life where it's tough for family when someone's suffering and you just want them to pass on. And the fact that she passed on has made things much easier for the family now. And we're at the final part now. Now she's buried, and that's that. She lived a long life. We've had our ups and downs with her, but the fact of the matter is, she's being treated very well in the end by her family. And thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. And for that point, I'm going to get on to Gene Borello. And I want to talk about Gene Borello because when people first came out, there was a lot of questions on what the judge actually said to Gene. So now I'm going to put up an article from Jerry Capisci. To me, Jerry Capisci is the best mob writer out there. I love the stuff he does. His site, Gangland, is a great site. And for $5 a month, you can go to his site and read it. It's like an encyclopedia in there. It's got everything in there. Anybody that has anything to do with the mob and really wants to understand stuff about the mob, you could, this guy's been around forever. And he just has, it's like you can put any name in there and he'll have the case, he'll talk about it, and he'll put it in his words. So I'm going to read this article in his words because it's a great article. I hope Jerry Capisci don't get mad at me. I'm plugging his Gangland, saying how good of a writer he is and how much I enjoy his stuff. But with that, I'm going to put this up because I want people to understand exactly the judge really was pissed at Gene. Gene got another break, and he has some more issues coming up. I just want to explain to you guys exactly what's going on. And this should help do it. Give me 1 minute. I'll put this up here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'm going to do this cinema style. You don't have to look at my ugly face. Okay, so this is the article, and I just want to read this. And this was put out today in Jerry Capisci's on Jerry Capisci's site. He said Gene Borello gets a tirade from the judge in a mere 6 months for his second violation of supervised release. That's not the new charges he got coming up. That's the charges that just happened with his other girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. But I'm going to read this to you so you guys know exactly what's going on. It says, last week in a Brooklyn federal court, Judge Frederick Block, this is Judge Block right here, gave turncoat gangster Gene Borello some kind of tongue lashing. Block savaged Borello for lying to him for filing a fraudulent letter to the court, one that made the judge look foolish and like a sucker for giving him a break after break at his sentencings. You could almost see the steam coming out of the judge's ears. And that's the truth, people. I mean, the judge has given us Gene so many breaks, and he gave him another break, and we're going to talk about that. But apparently that was mostly what the judge wanted to do. Let off a little steam. Block followed up his merciless volley by giving an errant informant just 6 months in prison. That was less time than called for by Borello's sentencing guidelines. He got anywhere from 3 years to release, so they gave him 6 months. It was also more than 2 years less than the sentence requested by the prosecutor, who clearly wanted the judge to throw the book at him. And that's the prosecutor right there. His name is Matthew Galletti. Okay, and it was more than, okay, I'm sorry. The only clear sign at how peeved the judge came when Block refused to give the gangster turned podcaster a week to put his fears in order before going back to prison. Gene asked the judge for a week, and he was told no. You're going to jail right now. That's what, I guess he wanted to play it out for another week, go down to Florida, do his thing, and have a couple more parties and say goodbye. but the judge wasn't going for it. The judge remanded him immediately to custody, stating that under all the circumstances, I'm not comfortable with letting him loose. But if that move interrupted Burillo's plans for the day, he should still thank his lucky stars. His sentence is 30 months less than what the feds wanted him to receive for his latest violation, supervised release. The 2 months less than the low ending of his sentence guideline. Block said that it was inappropriate for him to give Burillo 3 years the government requested. His rationale was that such a heavy sentence was based on 12 new violation offenses that the feds alleged Burillo committed in Florida after the judge allowed him to move there in June and take a job as a roofer based on what the judge called a phony baloney letter. The judge noted that Burillo had pleaded innocent to the new charges, which included domestic abuse against his new girlfriend. It's not a new girlfriend. He's been with this girl for 6-7 months now. Block stated he would sentence the defendant only for his second violations for threatening family members of the old paramour and for glorifying the mob on a podcast after being ordered to refrain from any online activity involving organized crime. The same offenses earlier that year cost Burillo 4 months in the slammer. So this is the second time he's been sentenced on the same charges. Last time he got 4 months, then released. Then when he was out, he went back again, and because of a letter that he wrote, the phony letter that let him go down to Florida, and he got charged again on the same charges, but this time he got 6 months. So pretty much he's got 10 months on the first set of charges. While Block didn't consider violating Espinano Associates' new charges and melting out the prison term, the judge clearly believes the defendant is guilty of domestic abuse based on that they had after Burillo admitted he had violated his supervised release when he went to Florida in May of last year to see his girlfriend. This girlfriend thing, that's going to be the basis of those other charges, said Block. It looks like love-hate relationships. You beat her up, the judge continued, noting that he had seen videos and read about Burillo's misbehavior while he was in the Sunshine State. Right, said G. Burillo. You have anger management problems, all sorts of terrible things, said Block. But she loves you. She forgives you. She knows she's a battered woman. The judge continued. I get it. Love, hate, you know, Romeo and Juliet. And we all know how Romeo and Juliet ends. I did go without permission, Your Honor, said Burillo. She wanted to see me. I did go. Yes. That's when he just decided to go to Florida while he was on probation in New York without asking for permission. That's a pretty serious thing usually. A lot of times that would put you away for a while. Okay, for some reason, this picture of Gene showing off his body with 8% fat is on here. God bless him for having that, but I'm sorry I got to make you guys look at that picture. I can explain to you the job that they're saying Burillo insisted. That's a lie. The person that gave me the job told me he had permission to hire me. I never met the boss. He just told me he had permission. He submitted the letter to us. How is that my fault? How did I lie to you? That's all I'm going to say, Your Honor. How did I lie to you? The judge noted that Burillo had represented that he had a job and was responsible for his own behavior for having submitted a letter that apparently was fraudulent. I understand, but I want to let you know that I did not make the letter up, said Burillo. So here's Gene, and it's pretty evident that he did make the letter up, and he's in court still saying he didn't make the letter up. Prosecutor Matthew Galati, that's him right here, told Block that the government investigation into the unsigned, undated letter purported to be from the TG Roofing of Oldsmar, Florida, indicated that Burillo and a buddy had created the phony letter that defense lawyer Nancy Ennis filed with the court, stating that her client had been offered a job as a roofer in the Tampa Bay area. The bogus letter, Galati said, contained the name and address of the true owner of TG Roofing, but the phone number for a close friend of Mr. Burillo's, noting that the scheme was to submit the letter to the court to make it look real and then the probation officer called the number on the letter. Mr. Barillo's friends would answer and falsely confirm that the job offer was real. So basically, this was a setup. He's putting out a letter. He's hustling the Department of Probation. And Gene's here in court saying, no, I didn't do it, Your Honor, even though this evidence is there. And that the telephone number belonged to who? Asked Block. It belonged to a person named Michael Uber, said Gigliotti. He and Barillo were close associates and a follow-up investigation established that the duo had a number of communications back and forth at the time the letter was filed, the prosecutor said. So I do believe it is disingenuous for Mr. Barillo to say he was unaware that the contents of the letter were false. He's given his reason why he thinks it was not, said Judge Block. He's responsible for falsifying that, noting that Barillo was facing a lot of other charges. Okay. The judge declared that 6 months sounds to him to be appropriate for the original charges. The judge ordered Gigliotti to detail the specific VOSR offenses, violation of probation. He says to prosecutor Barillo, he said to prosecute Barillo, for in the letter he wants the letter in court this week, basically. This was 2 weeks ago, so it's this week he wants the letter. He told the prosecutor and lawyer in this to try to work out a resolution by mid-March, stating he plans to resolve them one way or another before Barillo completes his 6-month sentence. Okay, so let me get this out of here. Okay, people, so what he's pretty much saying is he wants this done before, he doesn't want Gene coming back to court at the end of his sentence, and then he has to sentence him. So they're going to decide whether to add more time on. Here's the things they can do. They can give him probation. They can give him probation with an ankle bracelet, or they can send him to prison. They're not going to let him out on nothing. He's going to be still on probation. They might even extend his probation. I think they might give him this is what I think is going to happen. They're going to give him a few months. They're going to put a bracelet on his ankle for a while, and he's going to be back on probation. And if he messes up under those conditions, I'm not sure how much more Judge Block is going to put up with him. Judge Block has given Gene a lot of breaks, people. A lot. I mean, and right now the prosecution's pretty furious about it because here you got a judge that's very friendly to these informants. He gives them breaks all the time, even when they're out breaking the law. And then when they break the law and they go back into the court, he still gives them 6 months, even though there's a list of things that have been broken there. So let's hope that Gene takes advantage of this. You know, he's not going to be, he's definitely, I don't see him being in prison for more than a year. Probably less than that. Probation, yes, but a guy like Gene, when they're on probation, it usually doesn't end well because he has temper issues. He can't control, he has a lot of anger issues. Maybe anger management doesn't make him go to, who knows? So I wanted to put this up and show you because Jerry Capisci has all the facts all the time because all the courts give him everything. So what he puts up there is very accurate. And he would have put this up last week, but he was on vacation. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Tell me what you think underneath here. Like this video. Should Gene get more time? How much time do you think he should get? Just write it underneath the message board. Just let me know what you think. Please like this video. I really appreciate it if you like it. And I don't do too many lives, people. I rely on you guys donating and helping me. So if you want to donate, you can do it through my Cash App or my PayPal, or you can hit the little heart underneath here if you want to. And if you don't want to, that's fine. I love dropping these videos. I like doing lives, but I like dropping videos better. It just feels a lot better. It's a little more work. You got to do research and stuff, and that's why I enjoy doing it. And we're going to be doing. There's another rat in town. There's another informant that's going to be starting a new show. And I'm going to be talking about him. That's going to be our next show. I did a lot of research on this guy that's coming into the genre. Another informant's going to come into the genre, tell you what a gangster he was, how tough he was, and all these good things. He's already doing it with his intro coming in. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell you all about this guy and exactly what he was charged with and what crimes he's committed since he's been in the program. This is a new guy, people. They love coming on YouTube. So we're going to welcome here. We're going to welcome that gentleman here on this show so he understands that he's not going to get a free pass and come in here and tell everybody how great he was and what a badass gangster he was. He sent his boss to prison. I'm not mentioning his name right now. It doesn't take a genius to know who I'm talking about. They already know about this guy coming onto the scene. But I'll be dropping something within the next day or two on him. We already got it worked on. You know, these videos usually take an hour, like 1 day to get approved. So we're 1 day behind in our videos. Everybody, please hit the like. That's very important. And leave a message. We really like that on the message board. And we'll reply to every one of them. We don't miss one. Take care, people. Thank you so much.